Okay. Oh, oops. Okay.
Hoops, always a hoops.
What's
Always
poppin',
hoops. How we
people?
feeling?
How we living? How we feeling?
Look really blue.
Really blue? Yeah.
I think
You got a new
that
setup there. I noticed that in the when I was doing yesterday's videos. It was difficult because the lighting is a little bit different now with your setup.
yeah. Yeah. Um yeah, I just moved things around, getting some things on the way to put on the wall or things behind me and stuff, so
Yeah.
excited for that.
Anything in particular that you're excited for, or is it a surprise? You want to keep it in house.
Yeah, keep it in house. I mean,
Keep it in house.
let's keep it in house. Let's see what happens. Let's see if people like it. I mean, I'm kind of thinking about doing like a massive thing behind me, but I think it might be too much for our videos. So I have a couple of cool ideas, but I think I need to see how it all comes together first.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to like in some of my videos. I want to maybe like use my couch when like it's just me doing a video, and like sit down on it and have a conversation like in a video. Like I feel like that would be an interesting vibe. But all the information's like on the screens that are all the way up here, and the mic doesn't reach that far. So I've thought about like switching it up.
You got to get wheels. That's what I think. Whenever like I buy a house or have a thing where I can do my own setup, like without living in an apartment, or whatever.
Yeah.
I can I have like a cool vision for it, but it's just so limited right now because you can only do so much with hanging stuff on the walls.
Sure.
Or you can only do so much of like what color you want to paint the walls.
Yeah.
So that's just like a later thing.
Yeah. El Tigre says, "Boys, 1 month away from our first subiversary. Love that.
Subiversary.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
You've almost been a YouTube member for a year. That's crazy, Tigre.
Yeah.
Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. What's up, Sam? What's up, Noah? He says, how do I get into this mock? Gotta know. It's been a while. I mean, Noah was like podcast days.
Yeah, it was
podcast.
That's
when we used to be on Instagram type days. But welcome back, man.
That's funny.
The link in the chat I just put there is for our Discord, and Badake will explain how people can join today's mock draft.
Yeah, like Zach said, the Discord. Join our Discord. Link in the description below. Link in also in the chat as well. Go to Fantasyland. Fantasyland with the 2 orange footballs. Then go to content releases. That's exactly where I'll be posting the link. You can kind of see where I post a link for this mock draft, where this live stream with the flame emojis. So once again, join our Discord. Go to Fantasyland with the orange footballs, content releases. And then that's exactly where I'll be posting the link. I'll even type in I am posting the link. Posting the link here. So
Dude.
if you can see that.
Yeah. I just noticed that we have 6666 subscribers. Someone please either subscribe or unsubscribe. Like, this is bad juju for this stream. Start off with all sixes on the
Here we go.
subscriber board.
Here we go.
What's up, Harmon? Welcome in, my man. What's up, Tigre? We talked about Tigre's one year almost. Nice setup. What's good, Lazy Bones? Zach has an iconic but basic hat. Yeah, if we're tier ranking hats, iconic but basic. The Hot Nichols says, hot take, Daniel Jones will be a top 6 or 7 quarterback again this year.
Talk it up, Nichols.
Almost 2 weeks. That's right. How many days until the NFL draft? Someone tell us.
Somebody put it in.
Someone tell us. What's up, Chris? Instagram days? Yes, that was a long time ago. Instagram days. All right. So, like Badake said, if you guys want to join today's mock draft, do join our Discord. We put the links out there under the Fantasyland tab, under the content release tab there. So why don't we go ahead and send it out? Okay, we're at 667, which is much better than all 6s on the board. Yeah. Mighty Booch, thanks so much for the donation. Badaki's going to send the link out, and we're going to answer this question, and then we'll get it started. Mighty Booch says...
By the way, you haven't
done you know what? That's probably a good idea, hey? Let's go 60. I mean, right in the mids.
Okay, here we go. Sending the link out here. 3, 2, there you go.
Thanks so much for the super chat, Mighty Boots. Really appreciate that. Single quarterback, start 9 PPR. I'm very light on running back. Trade away 105 and Garrett Wilson for Travis Etienne and Chris Olave. 105 and Garrett Wilson for Etienne and Chris Olave. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure where Badake will stand on this. I have been the person who's like, hey, Olave and Wilson should be just as valuable as each other. That's been my point of view. So basically the question to me is, obviously I prefer Wilson slightly. He's one spot ahead of Olave in my rankings, but it's not enough for me to, like, you know, move a big deal. But the 105 for Travis Etienne feels like a very good deal for Travis Etienne, like to lock him in with the 105. So I would take the Etienne Olave side there personally. Yeah,
I think it's a fairly even trade. I wonder what other running backs you can potentially get without losing Garrett Wilson. You know, because I see Garrett Wilson, you know, taking a massive step. Not that Olave can't, but
that's why I think they both will. But
yeah, who is that 105? Like, who can you get? Can you get an Etienne? Can you get a Kenneth Walker? Is there somebody else you can get? So I do believe it's an even trade. I'm happy to take the risk on. It's not even a risk, but I'm happy to do Travis Etienne and Chris Olave. I think I just prefer Garrett Wilson a little bit more.
Yeah, same. But
personally,
you know, I think that's even value is what I would say.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I definitely agree it's even value. Just want to know, is there anyone else at the 105 or that you can send for the 105? Is that, once again, Kenneth Walker? Can you just do the 105 for Travis Etienne, et cetera, et cetera? So I guess that's what I would try and do first.
I hear you. All right, guys, we're doing a 2023 Dynasty Startup Draft. However, this is going to be tight end premium. We're going to switch it up today, just for fun. Just for fun. I mean, Badake and I don't really do tight end premium,
no.
But we're trying to look. It's I don't care what you guys do. Do what makes you happy. Like, whatever format you like to play with, like, then go crazy with it. To me, I think tight end premium was born to take care of a problem, but I think it just, like, makes the problem, like, it makes those people who are, what's the word? It makes, like, Travis Kelce overpowered. It makes, like, the top overpowered. It's just my opinion that it doesn't really fix the problem, but we're going to try it today just for fun. Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it. Tight end premium for the tight end premium people out there. So this one's for you.
Yeah, this is tight end premium in today's startup draft. Okay, so we're using the landing spots from Charlie Campbell, Walter Football, as he is more commonly known.
Good old Walter.
Bryce Young is a Texan. CJ Stroud is a Texan. Sorry, Bryce Young is a Panther. Anthony Richardson is a Titan. Okay. The Titans trade up to get a Rich. That's a hot one. Bijan Robinson still to the Lions for some reason. This guy, Walter Football, is just like, he just keeps putting them there. Quentin Johnston to the Texans. JSN to the Patriots. Then we get into the back half of the first round here, where we see Zay Flowers to the Ravens. Will Levis to the Vikings. Jordan Addison to the Giants. Dalton Kincaid to the Cowboys. Jahmyr Gibbs to the Bills. Michael Mayer to the Bengals. And then we get into the second round here. In the second round, we see Hendon Hooker to the Colts at pick 35. Jonathan Mingo. Wow, that's so high for Mingo. To the Seahawks. He does love him some Mingo, doesn't he? Walter Football. Yeah. Darnell Washington to the Packers. Sam Laporta to the Lions, who's getting a little first-round buzz, by the way. Sam Laporta.
Yeah, of course, man. I told you. Not jokes.
Jalen Hyatt to the Jaguars.
He's the guy that I like.
I love it. Cedric Tillman to the Bills. Then we get into the third round here, where we see, not a lot of offensive players here. Tanner McKee goes to the Broncos. Josh Downs goes to the Saints in the third round. Pretty late for him. Kayshon Boutte to the Packers. Devin A-Chain to the Colts. Matt Landers to the Chargers. Zach Evans to the Ravens. I really like that spot. Zach Evans to the Ravens. Dwayne McBride to the Jaguars. Kenny McIntosh to the Giants. Kendre Miller to the Cowboys in the third.
Be careful.
I like that as well. Zach Charbonnet to the Chiefs. Okay.
In the third round as well.
Third round. Luke Musgrave to the Commanders. Tucker Kraft to the Browns. And then we get into the fourth round here, where we see Rashee Rice to the Bears. A.T. Perry to the Cardinals. Andre Yeshivas to the Falcons. Eric Gray to the Saints. Chase Brown to the Patriots.
Oh,
here in the fourth round. Chris Rodriguez to the Commanders. Rashawn Johnson to the Vikings. Michael Wilson to the Steelers. Xavier Hutchinson to the Chiefs. Love it. Fourth round. Not great, but whatever. Deuce Vaughn goes to the Chargers. Jaden Reed to the Bengals. Dontavion Wicks to the Panthers. And then we get into the last round here, the fifth round, where we see no Sean Tucker yet. Tank Dell to the Raiders. I wonder if he's here. He is to the Jets. Sean Tucker to the Jets. Trey Palmer to the Ravens. Cameron Peoples to the Titans. Rakim Jarrett to the Packers. Tank Bigsby to the Bucks. Evan Hull to the Niners. And I think that might be it. A couple of names here that we don't really need to talk about. Tyler Scott to the Giants. Parker Washington to the Bucks. So you guys have the link to this
know what it is.
Mock draft. It's in the description, and I will also put it in the chat here. But let's go ahead and start this thing off. Honestly, I felt like that was, while I don't agree with like Jonathan Mingo being up so high and some of those other scenarios, I do think it was interesting and exciting to see the different landing spots for those running backs.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I think we need to start practicing. We need to start knowing when to pivot and how to pivot when some of these guys aren't going to get the draft capital that we're expecting. Zach Charbonnet doesn't get second round draft capital and goes in the third. We got to reevaluate which way are we going to pivot. Obviously, we won't know that until the NFL draft and where everyone goes. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Special guest, guys. We'll have a special guest this time next week. Sorry.
This time
next
week.
Little scheduling thing that got in the way there, but don't worry. We'll definitely have some collabs coming here soon. But our Blaze, will we ever know what happened to Charbonnet Ramsey? What's Charbonnet Ramsey?
No idea. No idea.
Okay, so I'm up on the board here. We've seen Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, and Hurts off the board so far. And I've got Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields, so I'll just go Justin Fields. We don't need to spend too much long there.
You have Justin.
Is it Sam Laporta? Yes, Sam Laporta is the one who's going to join us next week.
Join us? Oh my gosh, imagine we had an actual football player. Do you have Justin Fields over Trevor?
I do. Oh, no, sorry. I didn't think he was available. That's my bad.
Okay. No,
that's definitely my bad. I assumed he would have been off the board by 6, and I should have done a better job at actually looking at my options. I thought it was Lamar and Fields there.
No, you're good. Yeah, Trevor was pretty down there. At least if you just look at the overall ADP.
Yeah, that's what threw me off.
Yeah, because he was down there.
Where was he?
He was like in between, like I feel like CD just after Jamar and stuff like that.
Right. Dang.
I think I could be wrong.
But thanks everybody for joining us today in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Robin, it's been a long time. He says, long time no speak. Been battling some demons, but I'm back. Hope you guys are all good. Yeah, we're good.
Glad you're back, brother.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, glad to have you back, Robin. Hope you are well. Hope you are well. I demand a refund, WG says. All right, so as the first round ends, we have 7, or actually, is this 9? 9 quarterbacks, 3 wide receivers off the board. Yep. Team 12 here starts with an alternate strategy. No quarterbacks. Kyler Murray finally getting some respect here at the 110. I think Kyler Murray is going to end up being one of the best values in startups this year. I mean, we keep hearing Badake people say, "I got Kyler in the 5th round. I got Kyler in the 6th, in the 4th round, in the 3rd." Like all these people who are letting Kyler Murray fall in a super flex league, like it's I just don't see a scenario in which Kyler Murray isn't going to reward them drafting them. I still have him as a player that I would draft around the 110 to the 2-3 personally.
Yeah, I'm definitely still there with Kyler Murray. Yeah, people getting great value right now, and that's exactly what you want. So if you did your dynasty startups earlier in the off season, I guess I would say a month or 2 ago, some people have done that. You got to seal with Kyler Murray for sure. He's one of my last quarterbacks there before I try to reach for one of these rookies. Not reach, but go for Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. So
C-Dub says he got him at the 505 last week.
Yeah, I mean, that's wild.
In a super flex format, is that right? See, that's crazy. How is this happening in real leagues?
People are scared of the injury and maybe just avoiding it. Maybe they don't understand what that looks like. Maybe people don't think he's going to be the same. And he won't be like this rushing quarterback anymore that's going to be able to run as much as we want him to. Have we ever had a mobile quarterback that kind of tore his ACL? I'm pretty sure we have, but I'm trying to think of like how they bounced back. I thought we can think of running backs and wide receivers.
Dak Prescott didn't tear his ACL necessarily. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I think I like if this was Lamar Jackson, and I don't want to be disrespectful to Lamar Jackson, but just hear where I'm coming from, guys. Like, if Lamar Jackson had that injury, it would worry me a lot more. But Kyler Murray's arm talent is drastically underrated, and he's a player that is easy for people to hate on. The whole Call of Duty thing, like on Twitter, all you see is people saying after a loss or photo of him, people are like, oh, he's probably playing Call of Duty. Like he's just like the easiest quarterback to hate on, I think, right now in the NFL. Kyle Pitts goes at the 2.9. I was wondering where he was going to go. I was considering him at the 2.7. Remember, this is tight end premium, 0.5 tight end premium. But yeah, I think again, like something that's so underrated about Kyler Murray's game is his arm. He has a ridiculous arm. People see him as a small, stubby guy who runs a lot, but thanks for the super chat, Steve. We'll get to that in a second. But his arm talent is up there with some of the best in the NFL. I mean, he can do pretty much anything outside of Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. He can do anything these other quarterbacks can do with their arm, and I think that's going to transition really well towards the back end of his career. That's just my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, sorry, just thinking of where I should go. Maybe I should go.
RG3 is that's a tough one because it wasn't just the ACL there, and yeah, RG3, that was a tough one. That's a good point. But I would say that situation a little bit different because that injury was nasty. This is a non-contact, so both were non-contact actually. But it's a good point about RG3. But again, I don't think it's the same exact scenario. Let's get to Steve's questions here. Thanks for the super chat, man.
Here we go. 10 team Superflex tight end premium start 10. Give I'm assuming Ken Walker, Dotson, Purdy, Riddle, 209 and 24 first. Get Jalen. I'm assuming that's Jalen Hurts. Still have 101, 102. Just let us know if that's Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, it has to be. Otherwise,
I'm pretty sure it's Ken, right?
Yeah. So I mean, Purdy, Ritter. Here's how I look at this deal. Honestly, Purdy, Ritter, the 209 in the second. Those aren't irrelevant, but they're not pieces that like when I'm talking about Jalen Hurts in a Superflex league that really move the needle for me.
It's actually Josh Allen. Sorry. He said Josh Allen and Kenneth Walker. So he gives Kenneth Walker, Dotson, Purdy, Riddle, receives Josh Allen. I'm going to make a pick.
Josh Allen.
Go tight end since it's tight end premium.
Okay. Damn it. Yeah, I was hoping Mark or Kyle might fall to me, but in a tight end premium, that was a silly thing to hope.
Dodson, Purdy, Ritter. You know, and you still have the 101, the 102. I'm assuming the 103. And that's so that's plus 3
He has a
projected.
101, 102,
sorry.
and then 3 projected
Three
early
projected.
first in 24.
Okay. Ken, Dotson, Purdy, Riddle, 209. Ritter, sorry. I'm happy to take that chance because you replace Ken with Bijan, and you can at the 102. I'm assuming you're gonna get another quarterback depending on who you have on your team already, or you can trade back and maybe get a wide receiver. Like you trade back to the 105 and get a JSN, or can you trade back to the 107 and get a Quinton, or a Jordan Addison. I think that can definitely be that can definitely be something, because I'm happy to sell Purdy now. I'm happy to sell Ritter now.
I think because this is a 10 team, I'm comfortable with it. Yeah, because it's a 10 team, I'm comfortable with it. Because I feel like an elite, truly like top 5 in the entire, league type player in this format, you would have to pay up something like this for. And I think I would see that in Josh Allen.
He also has Trevor Lawrence, and he's trying to ship his 102 for some wide receiver depth. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah. So you would have
really
T-Law and Josh Allen as your 2 pillars. I feel like that gives you a really good advantage in a 10-team super flex where, you don't really want to be rocking with a Kirk Cousins or Geno Smith and that. Like, you want those 2 powerhouse guys to build around. And I'm not going to say that it's like a discount, but imagine being asked that this time last year. You guys everyone would have paid more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
I'd be happy to pay this in a 10 team. It is definitely not an underpay. Like you're paying value, but there's too many like could be's versus this is a fantasy superstar on the other side. Like for me again, like it sucks losing Ken and Dotson, but in a 10 teamer, I'm happy to kind of load up with those quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a good pick or a good trade for you.
Yeah.
Plus you get 3 projected early 24 first, which if it doesn't work out with the 102, if you won't trade back, then it's okay because you can get somebody hopefully in the top 6 wide receivers in next year's draft.
Yes, it is a tight end premium, guys. If anyone is joining in, we decided today just for fun to do a tight end premium startup draft. For me, there's definitely a gap after Hawkinson. I'm not willing to, even in a tight end premium, I don't think I'm willing to go tight end until probably the 5th round from Hawkinson onwards. I don't know where you stand, Badake, but it's not that Kittle, or Pat Freiermuth aren't worth it. But I think when you look at that premium that you're getting, I think, again, it's just those 4 tight ends that I'd be willing to pay up for.
Right. So you said the cutoff is at Pat Freiermuth?
No. TJ Hawkinson's the last tight end I would draft before the 5th round. Like, if I don't get Hawkinson or one of those top 4, I'm gonna, in a tight end premium, I'm not drafting a tight end until the 5th round is what I'm saying.
I would say Dallas Goedert would be my cutoff.
Okay.
What is he? 28 years old with Jalen. So I feel pretty confident in Dallas Goedert there.
Sure.
I would agree Kittle is definitely my cutoff. I would say Kittle's my cutoff.
Okay.
For sure. I would agree there. So anyone, I guess after TJ Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert, that's my cutoff. And then Kittle is like, okay, I'm happy to get him in the 5th round if he does fall. Greg Dulcich, though, going 2 tight ends here early in the tight end premium.
Okay.
Could be interesting.
I don't know. What do we... Harmon, tell us in the chat what's going on here. Dulcich... Look. say I can't do this. In a tight end premium, I'm probably taking Dulcich earliest, like 6th round, maybe, you know. But I mean, Dallas Goedert was still on the board.
Yeah, exactly that. And maybe there's, I don't know, somebody's typing, so let's see what happens.
You know, Dallas Goedert was still there. What? I don't see how Goddard is not more valuable than Dulcich. Dallas Goedert at the 4-3, I would have been like, all right, you know, you took 2 tight ends, a little bit strange, but at least you got a really good value in Goddard, because I feel like Goddard is a good, like he would be my next tight end. But Dulcich there at the 4-3, I can't wrap my head around that one. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't get there. I cannot get there.
The Pikachu face is so funny. That's hilarious.
Sam says, how small is the gap between Zay Flowers and Josh Downs? I was like, how is Drake London still available?
London, yeah, I had him. I saw him there as well.
These tight ends are making people go crazy. Devonta Smith is gone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did Quentin go in this actually?
Just looking at all my options here before I make my pick. But I will say that the gap for me was Zay Flowers. For me, Zay Flowers is closer to Quentin Johnston than he is to Josh Downs, is what I would say.
Where is... Oh, he was the first wide receiver with the board. Okay. 5, 3, 2.
I'm gonna go Jahmyr Gibbs here at the 4-7. He goes in the first round to the Bills, and I know what people are thinking. They just got James Cook last year in the second. They just signed Damian Harris. If a team commits to a running back in the first round, I have little to no doubt that he will be the feature for them. This isn't a move like getting James Cook. This isn't a move like drafting a Zach Moss with the Devin Singletary. This is first round draft capital, where it's typically uncommon for running backs to go that high. So if they do draft Gibbs, I'm assuming he will be a focal point of their offense. And not only will he be their starter from day one, in my opinion, if you spend a first round draft capital on him, he will also be someone that they can line up anywhere. I mean, you need someone to complement Stephon Diggs, put Jahmyr Gibbs in the slot. I think he ran like 51.8% of his snaps were receiving snaps, like where he ran a route, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check exactly, but it's over 50. But yeah, to me, I'll take Gibbs here. And we'll see how we go.
Yeah. Don't mind it. That was definitely somebody I had on my queue. There goes Josh Jacobs. Okay. So I have a couple options here. Now I ask myself, would I take...
Wow, you took Jameson Williams.
Yeah, I like Jamo.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever seen you draft him. That's why I was surprised.
He's usually gone off the board.
Yeah, yeah.
You usually take him at this point. You know, like, you got to think about it. All these tight ends went, right? So he's usually off the board by now. Sure. Now I ask myself this question: if Jordan Addison goes at the end of the first, do I take him over Jahan Dotson? Do I take him over Michael Pittman? Do I take him over Jerry Jeudy?
You tell us, brother.
I don't know. I mean,
it
feels like a homer pick, but I think I would. Maybe not. I think the cutoff would be Jahan. So Jahan's still on the board. So maybe I would go. It would be Jahan then Jordan. That's what I would say.
Okay. See, this is why. Again, after Hawkinson, I'm not going tight end until the 5th round. We still have Dallas Goedert on the board, who, to me, like at the 5th round, that's a very good pick. But yeah, I think Goddard going that late is surprising based on Pat and Kittle going that early. Like, are people forgetting how good Goddard was? Maybe.
I think a lot of people don't like who he has to compete with. And that is obviously Devonta Smith, AJ Brown, and whichever running back they plan on bringing in as well. I mean, that's the expectation, right? Like, what if Bijan goes to the Eagles?
Sure.
What if Gibbs goes to the Eagles? Like, everyone values kind of either drops in some way or somebody gets opportunity taken away from them. So I think that's what it could definitely be there.
I hear you. Okay, so Diggs is off the board, and I think Jahan Dotson is available.
Yep, he's still there.
But I'll tell you what, man. I have been really... There's a video coming out soon about Jerry Jeudy. In fact, it's a video that's releasing tomorrow. And I tell people why I think Jerry Jeudy is one of the most slept-on receivers right now in Dynasty football. So I don't want to spoil it. But I'll take him here at the 5-6. And I would highly encourage you guys, if you have doubts about Jerry Jeudy or you are thinking about buying him, watch the video that I'm going to release in your morning tomorrow, your morning time. The video is 4 players that I keep trading for in Dynasty football. I'll show you real trades that I've made for those players. And Jerry Jeudy is someone that I think is being drastically undervalued right now in Dynasty. I'm very excited for people to watch that video. And I found myself almost shocked in the research that I found when talking about Jerry Jeudy. So I'll take him there at the 5-6. He, to me, slightly moves ahead of a couple other guys who are still on the board. But yeah, I cannot explain how excited I am for a Sean Payton, Jerry Jeudy collab, if you will.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then we see Eckler and Najee off the board.
I gotta look at where I'm gonna be going here. Got a couple guys I have in mind. Hopefully they come back to me. Let's see. Goes Treylon Burks there. Would you have Jerry Jeudy over Treylon at the moment? Or
no, I don't, because the reason I did that is because he typically falls. So I was hoping that Treylon was going to fall to me. He's kind of buried in the ADP. A lot of people don't put any respect on his name, and it was kind of just a strategic move for me to try and hope that that Treylon would fall, honestly. If I was in a real draft, you're right, I would have drafted Treylon there, but I'm trying to read the board versus, my value of a player, because ideally, and you know this, Badake, but anyone out there who's new to Dynasty or is, just getting in, ideally, if you love a player, you still want to draft them at value within the community, if that makes sense. Like let's say I'm obsessed with, let's say Travis Etienne, for example. Well, I wouldn't want to take him in the mid-second because no one's drafting them there, So, yeah, that was me just kind of taking a risk, hoping that no one else really believed in Treylon Burks. And honestly, dude, I don't know about you, but I think in home leagues, Burks is going to fall. He'll be available in like the mid-6th, the mid-7th. I think the only reason he's going this high is because of how I continuously talk about him on the channel. Do you agree? Disagree?
Sorry, I was muted. I was completely talking. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Well, at least I would agree in the sense that he will go lower in like home leagues. I'm not as high on Treylon Burks as you are, but
I know.
I can definitely see, like, if he does fall to me here, like in the 6-11, or hypothetically if he did fall to me, I would highly consider it, like whoever's on the board.
Yeah, I feel you.
Right. So, Burks is definitely one that's going to be. I think his stock is going to rise as well. There's so much talk, especially in this draft. Anthony Richardson going to the Titans. Does Will Levis go to the Titans? Do people like those younger quarterbacks over Ryan Tannehill right now? And if they do, especially if it's Anthony Richardson, I think you see Treylon Burks take a massive leap in some of these home leagues or dynasty startups, because that's usually what happens when you get a quarterback, right?
Sure. Someone was asking Hawkinson or the 105 in tight end premium. I think that's probably like his range in a tight end premium. In a
tight end-
non-tight end premium, you're probably getting him for like 109 or so. Is that right? I would say. 108 maybe. So the 105 feels like that's kind of exactly where he should be valued in a tight end premium format. And it depends on how big the premium is, by the way. Like if your premium is 2, or sorry, if it's like a full point premium instead of just a half point, then that's a no-brainer. But if it's a half point premium, then still I think that's, you know, relatively even value is what I would say.
Yeah. Where did Zay go?
Don't talk about Zay.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to draft him in this round.
Yeah,
anyway.
you're not going to draft him because he went to the Ravens anyway.
Yeah. I can't get past it, man. I've been hurt by Rashad Bateman. I have been hurt by Rashad Bateman. I can't recover.
Where did Downs? Oh, he went in the 3rd, didn't he? He
Yeah,
fell.
Downs went in the 3rd, yeah. Okay, beautiful. So
Levis.
Jahan Dotson was someone I was considering here. For me, it was between, honestly, if it was a real draft, I would need to know my league and where Treylon Burks probably would have fallen. But it was between Judy, Treylon Burks, Jahan Dotson, and I was hoping that one of those players would fall. I was hoping that player would be Treylon Burks. But to have Jahan Dotson fall here at the 6-7, I feel very good about that.
Yeah, that's good.
I really don't like not filling up on wide receivers in a startup, but so far this has felt like it's worked out pretty well. But we'll have to see what my entire team looks like end all.
Yeah, no, that's exact. I mean, I was considering Jahan Dotson. You know me at 5'2". I'm a lot higher than Dotson, I would say, than the community is. So.
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick for you to get Jerry Jeudy and Jahan Dotson. I think is a
Yeah.
Goes Russell Wilson there.
Russell
Wilson.
Jared, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Really appreciate that.
Appreciate
you guys
you,
know we reply to super chats as soon as possible. As Brandon Ayuk goes at the 6'9", I keep thinking he's a very good value right now. I mean, this dude just finished as the wide receiver. What was it, 15?
Something like that.
And he's 25 years old, and I just think he's getting so much disrespect. But Jared, so great pick by T. Gray. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, in the middle of a startup, I traded 24 first, 23 107 Olave and Pickett for Josh Allen. Oof.
Pairing with Mahomes.
See, this is a lot of heavy hitters compared to that trade that we saw earlier. It was the Ritters, it was the Purdy's, a couple seconds, you know.
And I think this is.
How do you feel about
opposite.
this? This is tough.
This is the opposite of what we were saying. You know, like this is kind of the price that you were paying last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what you were alluding to. You know, this is what you had to pay last year to get someone like a Josh Allen. You had to give up good premium draft value and a player in Olave.
It's hard, right? Because you can't technically overpay for one of these superstar quarterbacks in Superflex, but like you can at the same time. Like,
I would say this all depends on your team. Because if you have Josh Allen,
but in a startup. It's pretty rare that you have the ammunition in a startup.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Like you haven't made enough moves to kind of accumulate that depth.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to assume that he has no first round picks in rookie drafts now.
I'm gonna make a pick here. I get Jared Goff here. I was tossing up between Russell Wilson and Jared Goff, and I'm glad.
It's a good pick.
Motor City made that easy for me there.
You got the Goff JMO stack too.
Yeah, no, talk it up, baby. Okay.
I thought about buying a Jameson Williams jersey, by the way.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I thought about it. But I think they're changing their uniform soon. Anyway, let's get to Jared's question.
Time to get the throwback then. Hold on, I'm on the clock again. Let me just make a pick.
Yeah. Look, Jared, I don't like I said, I don't think you can necessarily overpay for one of these guys, but this is pretty damn close on that line. And on the channel, we just want to always be as honest as possible. I'll say this, if it was me, I probably am not making that move. You need your team to be fantastic. Otherwise, that 24 first could really bite you in the ass.
Okay, I made my pick here.
I'll just say this for Badake. Like, I wouldn't do it personally. That's all I'll say. I wouldn't do it personally. I'm not going to say that it's a bad move. It's just not a move that I probably would have made myself. And I don't think in a startup you have enough assets. I could be wrong. Maybe you've done some really good wheeling and dealing. I don't think you've accumulated enough assets to kind of go in like this with your in startup. Like, I can't think of a startup I've done, Badake, where I've accumulated enough assets through trades and finding values where as soon as the league starts, I have depth to make a move like that, you know?
Yeah, and my biggest thing here is I need to understand what this rest of the team is.
Agreed.
Because if you have like these receivers that nobody wants, right? Like, let's just say he has like a Mike Evans, a Gabe Davis, a Juju Smith in the wide receiver room. He just gave up Chris Olave. I'm questioning it, right? But if you have somehow drafted Dotson last year, or you didn't start it for now, but you drafted the Dotson and you got a DJ Moore or a Calvin that maybe fell, okay, I can kind of run with you there. It just really all depends on this depth of the team.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm really happy to do this trade if I knew the depth. But yeah, I would agree that this is a big risk not knowing the context of this team. So I would say I'm not doing it.
The context is very important.
Yeah, this is massive because I agree with JT, right? Like he says, Allen Mahomes, such a dominant combo. You just wind the gap between that ceiling of the opponents, but you do wind the gap. But once again, if you have the Mike Evans, that's probably only going to be here for another year. If you have like these Gabe Davis, the Jujus, those guys, you wind the gap in the quarterback room, but then you can barely start anyone that's going to give you 8 to 10 points a week.
I actually would love to know, Jared, can you tell us your depth at the this is where I'll go Zay Flowers. I'll wait this long. Love the player. I'll bet on him here at the 7-6. If Rashad Bateman went in the first round, this is probably where I would have drafted him as well, which he did, but like if this was that rookie draft, for example, I'll take a shot at the 7-6. Can't let the talent fall too much further than that. But yeah, I think it's a very good point. Like, Jared, if you're there, can you please tell us your running back, wide receiver, and tight end position, and tell us how many starters are in the league, and then tell us how much draft capital you have as well, because I feel like we'd be able to give you a better answer. But I have a feeling, Badake, that we're probably looking at like a lot of veterans who, don't have much life left in Dynasty.
That's fine.
A couple guys, like you said, Juju Smith is maybe starting in your flex, and then if you don't have any draft capital in the future to improve your team, you might be stuck in a hard spot. So I definitely hear you. That's a very tricky one to answer. Yeah. So hopefully Jared can give us that context there. C-Dub, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. He says, would you trade JT for the 104 and 205? JT for the 104 and 205? I'd probably prefer JT.
JT is going for like the 102 right now, isn't he? I would say 104 is not enough.
I don't remember what podcast I was listening to, but someone was like, someone said, are you getting any value for Jonathan Taylor? And he was like, no, like no one will send me anything for Jonathan Taylor. It's a weird thing in the community right now. Like, you're right, he should be valued around like the 103, but he's not. So I'm keeping JT there. Like, at the 104, you're hoping to get a running back like JT,
I would agree. He said, I got the two. I would agree with Zach, by the way, C-Dub. I'm keeping JT. Jared just said, I got the 202 in the trade as well. I have Etienne, Pittman, Burks, Hopkins. I have the 112, the 2-2. We are only in the 7th round startup.
I'm guessing the 2-2 is like the rookie 2-2, right?
I'm 2-2, or like he had the 202 in as you traded that away. Is that what you're saying?
I assume you would. That's pretty important context to include in this. I assume it's rookie. Let us know if we're wrong. But like in this scenario, okay, you have Etienne, and it doesn't sound like you have a starting running back outside of that. maybe you hit that at the 202. Pittman, Burks, Hopkins.
See, like,
Pretty
I'm okay
good
with
group.
the wide receivers. Yeah,
to be
I'm
fair.
okay. Yeah, the rookie 202. I acquired the rookie 202. Okay.
I think right now the answer is inconclusive because we don't know the entire roster, unfortunately.
I think so far the build that you have is good.
Yeah.
Right? Like Etienne, Pittman, Burks. And this is not a team that you're going to be competing for right now because, like, you did trade away the 107. So that could be Sharby if he gets the capital. That's at the moment, it's only 3 running backs going in the first in a rookie startup, right? Or in a rookie draft, which is Bijan, Sharby, and Gibbs. So I'm okay thinking about that. But like, okay, so you have Etienne. He's in the middle of the 7th right now. I know this is tight end premium, but okay, you can take a chance on Pollard like you see. Can you get a Miles Sanders, right? If he's fallen to you, because Miles in this mock went at the 7.5. Who's still available on our board? Can you get a Swift? Can you get a Joe Mixon, a J.K. Dobbins? I'm happy to take a chance. The way it's going, if it is going the way I'm thinking and believing, I think I would be going the Josh Allen side, or Josh Allen side.
I think it's I would just say it's tough for me to answer without knowing the final result is what I would say. I need to see the entire team after the move is made, but it's like I said, you can't overpay for those guys. But yeah. Hey guys, this is a tight end premium mock draft that we're doing today. In case you were wondering, hey, why are these tight ends going a little bit earlier? This is tight end premium 0.5. We're not big tight end premium guys, but we wanted to, cater to those out there who are.
Show for the community,
Yeah. Okay, Cam Akers goes with the 8.6. You guys watch the video that we released today. I said to Badake after we recorded, I was like, dude, I don't think we've disagreed. Like, that was throwback us. That was like throwback, like us throwing hands, recording a video. The video we released today, we disagreed more than we have in a very long time. And oddly enough, Akers and White just went, and those were 2 big pieces to the disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
The OG days, if you will. Okay, so I keep talking about how Ayuk is a value, but like maybe Debo is now a value.
That's what I have on queue trying to get.
I don't think this is reflective of what the community actually sees. I think this is just an interesting mock draft where he slid a little further. Maybe people aren't seeing him. I don't know, but at the 8.7, it's kind of a no-brainer there.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I have a couple people. Let's see where they go.
Harmon says, yeah, different perspectives, but it was great. Both y'all made great points. Love the video. Good to know. Good to know.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, okay. Algier at the 8.9. Okay. What's happening?
Bro, there's big Algier people, bro. Big Algier people out there. There's so many other running backs that I would take, and hopefully this person does fall to me because I still have him as one of my top guys.
Can I ask just the chat, is this where Tyler Algier, like, to me Akers and Algier, I don't remember them going this early.
That's what I wanted.
The fact that Dobbins was available.
That's exactly what I was going to take right there.
I can't comprehend why Dobbins wasn't drafted ahead of these guys in the 8th round. Can I ask the chat, are Algier, Akers, and White going this early in your drafts? Or is this just an outlier of a mock? I'm very curious. But yeah.
So Downs went in this.
That was going to be your pick, was Dobbins.
Yeah, it was going to be my pick, which is unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
I know Josh Downs went in the 3rd, but to what team? To the Saints. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'll take Brother Downs to the Saints. Got no running backs here, so let's see where I'm gonna go.
Mac Jones at the 8-12.
Mm-hmm.
You know, someone in our leagues is trying to trade for Mac Jones for me, and I don't even know what. Like, anytime someone sends me an offer, I'm genuinely like, I don't know what to do here. Like, I don't want to give up on Mac Jones yet, but the value I'm getting isn't worth moving him. You know, it's a really strange place to be with Mac Jones right now.
Okay. You know, I expect him to play. If he plays, he plays.
Yeah.
At the moment, we don't know what's going to happen. But, I mean, Joe Mixon at the 9, too. If he does stay on this team and does play, then this is great. Let's see what happens. He said Algier usually goes around the 11th, 12th round in startups. I've been in or seen. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like there's a lot of people in our comments that are big Algier fans. You know, a lot of people in our community that are really big on Tyler, and we're just not that. I guess, you know,
Terry at the 9-4 is great value.
Yeah, we both believe that they're gonna draft somebody. They need somebody, right? So
yeah,
they have a pretty good foundation with. Well, I mean, they can get another quarterback too, which would be wild. So we'll see what happens.
And I don't think that Algier is going to be like irrelevant. I think I saw a comment on the video. They're like, "Why do you guys think Algier is going to be irrelevant?" That's not at all what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't speak for you, but like, I do not think that Algier is irrelevant if a running back comes in. What I don't think is that he establishes himself, you know, a head above the other running back that they draft to the point where he's just this dominant guy in the backfield. I don't see that happening. And if it is a split workload, it's very rare that there is much value, if any. So, yeah, maybe that makes a little more sense. Maybe it doesn't. But I'm going to go ahead and take David Montgomery here. Yeah, I see Swift on the board. I don't care. I got Monty higher than Swift in my rankings. You can fight me if you want. But the team have openly kind of said that they're not really committed to DeAndre Swift, like outside this year. At least that's been the reports. And on the opposite hand, they have committed to David Montgomery with a 3-year contract in a landscape where running backs aren't getting contracts. So I'll take Monty there at the 9-6. I'm really liking how this team is filling out. I do wish I went T-Law, but that's unfortunate. And you know what I just realized is that Bijan Robinson was drafted to the Lions. So that's my bad.
That's what I was going to say.
I wasn't thinking about that.
I was going to say, well,
just seems so unrealistic.
Until Bijan gets, you know, well, right now, to be fair, the way it looks like it's panning out with this Jeff Okudah trade, I don't know if you saw that trade. Well,
yeah, I did see the Okudah trade. I'm shocked that they only got a 5th round pick for Okudah.
Well, that's number one. Number two, I also think they can go really early in the cornerback position. Let me see, who was it that is really high? I think Gonzalez is a bit too high for the 6th pick overall. But let me just go to Mock Draft Simulator. And let me just see what the Lions pick 6.
Yeah, that was a mental break for me. I just can't wrap my head around Bijan to the Lions. It does not compute with me. What can you do?
Yeah.
I hear you, Brendan, but like when Okudah was healthy, maybe he needs a change of scenery. But when Okudah was healthy, he looked really good. I think it was like his second or third year. He looked pretty decent. Like you could see
this last year was his.
You could see the talent. You could see the potential. Definitely still struggled in areas, but it's difficult when no one around you is helping you. Like your flaws are highlighted as a player when the crew around you is even worse than you are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for him and AJ Terrell to pair up, as well as Jesse Bates in that backfield or in that secondary rather, I think that's going to be nice. But a 5th round pick, I mean, this is a top 5 pick in the draft a couple years ago. The talent is there. It just hasn't been
overall pick.
Yeah, it hasn't been nurtured well, is what I would say. But I mean, a 5th round pick for Okudah, I would be more than willing to bet that he's going to be more valuable than the 5th round pick this time next year. Now that he's got you know, that crew around him with Bates and AJ Terrell.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I think this just makes sense for the Lions now because they have a top 6 pick. You know, there's so many different ways they can go. You know, Christian Gonzalez. I have some names: Christian Gonzalez, Joey Porter. I don't know how early some of these guys are going to go. Devin Witherspoon. It kind of gives us a direction of where they probably want to go now. In the top 6 pick. I'll be surprised if they go quarterback. I think they think Jared Goff is their guy personally.
Yeah.
But let's see.
Ryan says, let me cook. Okudah trade means Falcons draft Bijan. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's the deal.
Many different things.
But Aki, let's get on the same page right here, right now with the 95 people watching. First off, if you haven't dropped a like, show some love. Hit that like button. If we get to 100 likes, we'll do a second mock draft. We'll do a rookie mock draft with you guys all tonight. Whole new group of people. But let's get on the same page for a second. Unquestionably, there will be a running back room that you and I are wrong on. There will be someone who escapes the draft and they are the starter for the team. Could that be Pacheco? Could that be Stevenson? Could that be Mixon? Could that be Algier? Could that be Akers? Could that be Cook? Could that be Rashad White, right? Could that be, you know, the names go on and on and on. Just get where I'm coming from. Undoubtedly, Badake and I will be wrong. One of these running backs will escape the draft and they will be the starter. But a lot of these running backs are going to have competition. And we just can't predict where that competition is going to come from. Will it be a 1st round pick? Will it be a 3rd round pick? Will it be a 5th round pick that ends up beating them in camp? So Swift at the 10-4 is great value, by the way. But anyway, it's some of these running backs aren't going to go where we want them to go, and they won't be as valuable. Anyway, I just think we need to be on the same page there. Like, everything is open to being different.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
You can't predict anything. No one thought that Javonte Williams would go to the Broncos when Melvin Gordon was looking good. You know what I mean? No one.
Yeah, that's true.
No one thought that would happen. No one said, everyone was high on Michael Carter because he had a decent rookie year. They're not going to draft Bijan. I remember we made a video about that. And I was like, hey, Brees could go to the Jets. They're not going to draft Brees. They got Michael Carter.
I wasn't expecting Brees to go in the second. He went in the second. Am I wrong?
He went early second. Early second. He was like one of the first couple picks.
Yeah, I was expecting him to go in the late first. One of those late teams. Those teams at the late there to get him. When they initially traded up for Jermaine Johnson, I thought that was Bijan. I mean, I thought that was Brees, and then I was like, oh, okay, so they're not going for Brees, right? I was like, okay, but yeah. So Elijah Moore, that's a good pick, by the way.
It's a good pick.
So interesting, because I thought they were going to get another playmaker, not at a high. I didn't think they were going to have the caliber in Bijan because they needed so many other positions, but they drafted so well that year that they killed it.
Yeah. I think how NFL teams, Mighty Boots, thank you so much for donating, by the way. Donated 5 memberships. Really, really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Could be an Oprah stream.
You're on the clock.
I don't even remember what I was saying, honestly, at this point. I don't remember what I was even saying. But here is where I think, sheesh, there's so many good running back values on the board. I'm going to go a little bold here. I'm going to draft Kendre Miller. Kendre Miller, welcome to the squad here at the 10-7. He went to the Cowboys, I believe, in the 3rd round. Yep, 3rd round pick to the Dallas Cowboys. Kendre Miller, to me, is, the more I think about it, the perfect complement to a Tony Pollard. Offers something very different. people are upset when I say this, but I don't think that Kendre Miller is some elite athlete. I think he's a very well-rounded, all-around running back, though. And I could see him getting the 50% opportunity in this backfield with Tony Pollard. So he kind of fits that goal line, big body that they maybe want to replace Zeke with in Kendre Miller there. So I'll take him there. There goes Zach Evans at the 10-8. I was considering him. Zach Evans went to the Ravens in the 3rd. So both very good options here in the 10th round, I would say.
Yeah. Sam Howell, Derek Carr. I take Dalvin there just to get some running backs. I got another guy in mind. We'll go to Matthew Stafford.
Brendan says, I'll cry if the Falcons draft JSN, all those weapons just to hand it off to Algier 20 times a game. Yeah.
I would.
You gotta ask yourself.
I'm not in love with the idea of JSN, a top wide receiver going there. I'm okay with
I don't want. I've said this before. I don't want anyone going to the Falcons.
I'm okay with
a player I like. I don't want them going there.
I'm okay with a younger guy, like a 3rd round, 4th round guy to go there, but I do not want JSN, Quentin, Addison. I don't want like the top 5 wide receivers to go there. It would just be pointless in my opinion, because like who the hell they're gonna go to? And maybe it was the same thought process when AJ Brown went to the Eagles, right? But they also have Kyle Pitts as well, so I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, different because
I don't know what they're thinking.
The offensive identity was built around the run, but not so drastically. Where you guys are like, this is how weird the Falcons team was last year. They were down by like 30 points, and they were rushing the ball. They were down like 30 points, and they're like, "Yeah, let's go ahead and run the ball 4 times in a row."
Yeah.
In like 3rd, 4th quarter. They do not make any sense to me.
Falcons made a lot of moves on defense, though, Sam. Like a lot. What they got? J.C. Bates. They just got Jeff. There was somebody else that they got as well. I think they also got a linebacker. Probably wasn't one of the top ones. Probably. Let me see. Falcons.
There was a defensive lineman that they signed. I just don't know who. Yeah, exactly, Brennan. Arthur Smith still thinks he's coaching Derrick Henry. It's like, this worked once, and it's gonna have to work again.
Yeah, right.
Like, come on, man, please. We're begging you.
Yeah, they got a tackle already. Caleb McGray. They got Taylor Heineke, Jesse Bates, David. I don't know how to say his last name.
Onyemata.
Yeah, Onyemata. Jermaine Afidi. I don't know how to say that guy's name. Matt Collins. I mean, there's a couple guys they got. So they also got Tate Davis. So
yeah, Falcons have had low key a really good offseason.
Nah, for sure.
It's just Desmond Ridder is still your starting quarterback, unfortunately. Yeah. Actually, Taylor Heineke's there, so you know.
Taylor Heineke. I think someone has to jump. Cardinals have to go and get a value there.
Yeah.
They have to get an extra second. They have to do whatever they can to get some more draft picks. I don't care who it is, just give me the best one.
They definitely do need edge. Like if the kid out of Texas Tech is there, what's his name? He'll definitely be a great pick for them.
Are you talking
about? They definitely need edge help
for the Falcons. For the Falcons, I think it's Wilson, isn't it? Tyree Wilson.
Tyree, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So Evan Ingram at the 11-8. And a tight end premium, that kind of seems ridiculous. I was going to draft him, but I wanted to secure QB3 this way around. I mean, that seems like very good value.
Where did Rice go?
By the way, guys, we have a like goal today of 100 likes. If you can help us get there, we will pop off another mock draft for you. Excuse me. We'll do a rookie mock draft for you guys here if you help us get to that 100 like mark. So go ahead and hit that like if you want to see another mock draft tonight. If you want to keep hanging out, talking football, Yeah, get a whole new group of people in there through the Discord. Yeah, I remember that the play-in tourney is today.
Oh, is it? Who's
the Thunder play tomorrow? So I'll definitely be watching that. But yeah, Heat versus Hawks right now.
Halftime. Okay, pull out. I need to reactivate.
And TNT's crew for the NBA is just goated, undefeated.
Play-in, playoffs, schedule.
All right. So Noah has tried an alternate strategy. We've got Aaron Rodgers and Desmond Ridder as our starting quarterbacks. The positional groups look very good. Those quarterbacks, little rough. I know Noah would probably say that as well. I'm surprised because I know that Noah's a Tua fan. I'm surprised he didn't go Tua there at the 311.
Yeah.
C-Dub. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just think that maybe he was gonna hope that Tua was gonna come to him at the turn there. But yeah. Thanks for the super chat, brother. Yeah, C-Dub, you say he counted JT for the 104 and the 108.
Okay, so you get the 104 and the 108 for JT. That's not a bad deal.
It's not. You can get a running back and a wide receiver, essentially. So that's Gibbs.
To me, the way I would play it personally is JSN and Charbonnet.
Right. Exactly. So like you can also it was going to be Gibbs, JSN, Anthony Richardson as well there, or one of those other quarterbacks, depending on how the board really falls, and then at the 108, whichever guy you like. I'm okay taking.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could compete, but I'm coming out of a rebuild. Or committing, I'm assuming. I'm coming, but I'm something out of a S rebuild.
All right. What are we going to do here? I was hoping that Evan Ingram might fall to me. He did not. Oh, Keenan Allen is still on the board in the 12th round. That's crazy. And I don't know if I want him.
That's what happens, man. Age.
Yeah. Okay, Darnell Mooney off the board. Where did Sharby go, by the way?
Mike Williams.
Where did Sharby go? He went to 6'2".
Yeah.
Just need to look at all of my options here. Just reading the board. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, if this player is still available, he will be on my team. That player is Chase Brown.
Chase Brown downtown. That's what I like here right there.
Welcome to the squad. Chase Brown. He goes to the Patriots in the 4th round. The same round they drafted Ramondre Stevenson. I'm not going to say anything because Ramondre Stevenson truthers will tear me apart. They will tear me apart. I'll take him there at the 12-7 though. Where did Ramondre go? 5'10"? Let me ask you, as a Chase Brown truther, I would call you.
Call me that?
Where would Chase Brown fit into this backfield?
I think
what would it look like?
He could be the first and second down guy, but he can also play the third down role. I mean, 300 plus carries in college. He's probably going to be...
You mean in a year, I assume?
Yeah. In that year, I think I can definitely see him being what the Damian Harris is. Is he stronger than Damian Harris? Is he a bigger punch? No, but he knows how to handle the workload, and maybe that's exactly what they want to do with him. But I can also see him taking, opportunities away from Ramondre Stevenson. in the air.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Xavier Hutchinson. He went to the Chiefs. I'll take a shot on X. So yeah, I like Chase. I think it can definitely hurt Ramondre Stevenson there. It probably be another like Ramondre Stevenson upbringing though. Like it may not be something immediate last year. Like I mean something immediate in his rookie year, but his second year can definitely be a problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to take.
Did Tajay get drafted, man?
I don't know.
Did Tajay get drafted in this?
Where did
I don't remember seeing him.
Where did this guy go?
I don't think he got drafted.
And
Yeah, I don't think Tajay was drafted. That's crazy.
I'll take.
No, it isn't in the mock draft. Sorry.
I'll take Sam Laporta here.
Yeah, makes sense. Man, there seems to be so many running back values down the board. It almost makes you feel like you don't want to draft a running back early.
Yeah, Parker.
Like
yeah,
I'm asking myself.
it is tight end premium.
It is tight end premium, yeah. I'm asking myself, like, should I have drafted a wide receiver instead of Gibbs at the 4-7? Because yeah, there's so many running back values right now.
I guess just all these people. Like, are you talking about like in rookies or just in general?
In general, I feel like there's so many values.
Yeah, there's just so many.
Rashawn Johnson, Chase Brown, Swift went really late. Zach Evans, Kendre Miller, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Once again, and I think even in Dynasty startup, we're gonna have a better understanding. I knew someone was gonna take Justin Ross.
Tigre, I know Tigre's got a lot of Justin Ross stock.
Bro. I mean,
he's got a lot of stock.
If you look at the comments on Twitter, they were loving that when Justin Ross was catching from Mahomes.
As a Chiefs fan,
he almost dropped. By the way.
Well, it wasn't even a hands catch, which is what's funny.
But yes, I thought that was so funny. And I had a feeling that we would see him in a Dynasty startup, but yeah, that's funny.
So there's a tight end that I think is continually being disrespected by the community. I've brought him as a buy low multiple times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. This is the tight end 22 off the board. Okay? And he was the first tight end drafted in last year's draft. Likely going to have a lot more opportunity this year with this team getting younger and Zach Ertz moving on. Trey McBride at the 13-6 in the tight end premium.
Trigger Trey.
The 22nd tight end drafted. I don't know. And if I was born in the DC, like Virginia DMV area, so I grew up a Washington fan, lived there for about a decade. Then I moved to Kansas City when I was 11 years old, lived there for about just under a decade. So those are my two teams. Sam says, I think D-Hop might go to the Bears. That would be pretty surprising. Yes, this is tight end premium. What's up, David?
I guess we got to expect the unexpected. I wasn't expecting OBJ to go to the Ravens. Yeah. You know, that was one of the, I would say, not one of the last places I would expect him to go. But I guess with all the situation happening with Lamar, I wouldn't have expected that.
On by the way, Mike Williams wasn't drafted. Yeah, someone just said that. On OBJ, like, I think if this was a real draft and we had like 25, 24 rounds, he's probably not going this high. I think Benny just wanted to show him some love.
Yeah, probably. Which is fair.
But on OBJ, like, I don't see a scenario. I could be wrong. I don't see a scenario in which someone in Dynasty is going to give you anything that's valuable for him. No. I feel like he's worth holding. Yeah, he is worth holding.
I agree.
In the season, you don't know. Like, maybe he has 3 weeks in a row where he's a top 24, fantasy option. Then you sell him,
OBJ is older than Mike Evans. Wow. Probably not by much.
OBJ is, yeah,
30. Mike
yeah,
Evans
he's up there, man.
Wow. How old's Keenan? Keenan's 30.
Keenan is older than OBJ, I think. But they're very similar in age.
Yeah, wow.
It's actually crazy that Keenan Allen and OBJ went in the same round, though.
That's so funny.
That is crazy. Hey, guys, we're only 4 likes away from popping off another mock draft for you guys. If you help us get to 100, just need 4 more people to hit that like button. And if we get to that 100 mark, we will do a rookie mock with you guys here right now. What's up, Steven? Welcome in, my man.
How you doing, man?
Mighty Booch, I think, yes. I think all your memberships were gifted. And, yeah, feel free to ask a question. We'll answer it for you. Yeah. Yeah, no Irv Smith, Trent. Keep in mind, didn't the Bengals go tight end in this mock draft?
I think so. On the
They went Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. We're using these landing spots as if it was real life. So if Michael Mayer does go to the Bengals in the first, it's highly unlikely that Irv Smith ends up being fantasy relevant, unfortunately, as much as we kind of want him to be that guy. No, you're good, man. No, I hope work was good. DPJ over Mike Williams is evil. Actually, that is interesting. DPJ over Mike Williams.
You know, people really believe in DPJ now. I don't know why, personally. People still are leaning DPJ over Elijah Moore, even with the trade. So, I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to do a rookie mock draft. We did hit our like goal. But, Aki, if people want to join us for this rookie mock, we'll get a whole new group of people. How can they do so?
Join our Discord. Link in the description below and in the chat as well. Join our Discord. Go to Fantasyland with the Orange Footballs. Go to content releases. And it is first come, first serve. And if you were in this mock draft in the Dynasty starter, please let somebody else join. We will publicly shame you and call you out and say, get your ass out. But once again, join our Discord, link in the description, also in the chat. Go to Fantasyland tab with the Orange Footballs content releases, and that's exactly where I'll be posting the link for the next mock draft. And once I get that link, I'll send that link out to you once Zach sends me that, because he's creating it right now, as you can see. And I just got it. Okay.
Hanif, I think you just asked this question. I'm a fan of both. Those are my 2 teams, man.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Once again, I'll send this link out now. Fantasyland content releases. First come, first serve. Let somebody else join. If you join the other mock draft, 3, 2, there you go.
Steven says, by the way, love the running back video classic. Badake and I talked about that a little bit earlier. It's been a while since we have had a video where we just have disagreed that heavily. Yeah. So you're right. It was kind of like the old school, like us just yelling at each other for like 30 minutes. People who are newer wouldn't have seen those videos. Favorite Pixar movie? That's a good question. Don't know. We have a lot of spots, guys. A lot of spots. It's
4 spots here. So once again,
4 spots still available, which, you know, if you want to get in a rookie draft, now's the time. Anyone's welcome. I don't care if you've drafted with us before today. 3 spots left.
Fantasyland tab, content releases.
In the Dizzy.
In the Discord, you can see all those different tabs. It says Flock Chat, Mason's Flock, Fantasyland, Fantasy Endgame. It says all that. Go to Fantasyland. Go to content releases. There you go. One more.
Steven says, Zach, sometimes you're relentless making Badake explain himself. I just think, like, I want to know why, you know? I think that's a fair ask to understand why, you know, why a player's above a different player. First take Fantasyland edition.
Okay, I think we're in. 2 people from the same one last time, but I guess
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I don't care. All right, let's go ahead and start this thing off. 1 minute on the clock. Bijan goes 101. He did go to the Lions in this one, which makes no sense at all. CJ Stroud is a Texan. Let's see. Bryce Young is a Panther. A. Rich is a Titan. So I kind of thought that's how it would go. Johnston in this one went to the Texans. JSN went to the Patriots. I know a lot of people have problems with that. I'm not one of them. I'll take JSN at the 105. I'm completely fine if JSN goes to the Patriots. Mac Jones has not had a wide receiver like JSN his entire career as a pro, both years, and he instantly steps in is the number one alpha there in New England, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Of course you guys know what it is. I'm going my wide receiver 1. Zach says JSN. Mine is Quentin. He goes to the Houston Texans, and his quarterback is my QB1. That's CJ Stroud. I love this pair. There's no doubt he'll be the number 1 guy there as well. Where did Will Levis go? He went to the Vikings in the 23rd. Interesting.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's got Justin Jefferson. I'll say this. If Will Levis went to the Vikings, how do you feel about Justin Jefferson? Because as mid as Kirk Cousins is, he's the perfect type of mid for your wide receiver 1, Justin Jefferson.
You know, I would still give Will Levis hope to kind of give that guy give Justin Jefferson fantasy relevancy. I don't think it will be in year 1. I think if Will Levis does go to the Vikings, he is sitting for sure for a year because they're going to get everything out of Kirk Cousins. He's going to learn from him. And then year 2, I think it's going to be all about Will Levis. And I hope and believe that he can be this guy that had a year under his belt and taking the reins with Justin Jefferson and whoever else they draft or they have, so I'm still believing in Will and what he can do with some people.
Yeah. I'm not saying I would do this, but I wouldn't be completely opposed if Kirk Cousins started this year and then Will Levis took over next year. I wouldn't be completely opposed of like selling Justin Jefferson mid-season. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm just looking at the absolute hauls that people are getting for Justin Jefferson. If I can pivot to like a Chase, if Levis is the quarterback, if I can, let's say get like an Olave in a first, or 2 firsts is kind of like the price tag right now for Justin Jefferson.
I would agree.
I would look at my options if that was real life.
I would definitely understand. I can definitely understand that. And I think that's why I have Chase as my wide receiver 1, because I know at a point in time, and not that I don't believe in Justin Jefferson, I know at a point in time is always going to come to that ending and that quarterback change where we both believe, Jamar Chase is probably going to get his second contract extension and stay with the Bengals. Joe Burrow is going to be a longer term quarterback here and get that contract extension with the Bengals. I think Justin Jefferson might see a dip, and it might be a dip to where like Jamar Chase is the solidified one and people understand that. Or they just believe in the talent, or they get a quarterback that they really like and understand, or Will Levis is the guy.
Sure.
And some people sold Justin Jefferson when they shouldn't. So
I definitely hear you. Hear you. I think Justin Jefferson's game translates better long term, and that's where I'm held up, because I totally agree that Jamar Chase, we can't pretend like quarterback play doesn't matter for a fantasy wide receiver. Like that would be ridiculous to say. Which is kind of what you're alluding to. Like quarterback play absolutely matters. 100%. I agree. No doubt. So it's like this weird dancing line between like, okay, can Will Levis at least be competent? Versus Jamar Chase's game to me doesn't translate as well long-term as Justin Jefferson's. Like I think Justin Jefferson can be what we're seeing like Keenan Allen do. As old as Keenan Allen is, I still think he can be that good. Whereas Jamar Chase's game, a lot of it, I'm not saying he's a bad route runner, because he's a fantastic route runner, but it's a lot more explosiveness after the catch, which You know, when you're 30 years old or, you know, 28, you're not the same exact athlete as you were. So that's where that dilemma is for me. It's really difficult to kind of put your finger on that one.
Yeah, it'd definitely be tough. And I think we're gonna see that soon whenever Kirk Cousins walks, whoever that quarterback is. So we'll see, because I think Kirk Cousins last year is this year.
Damn.
I think that's why the Vikings are a big team that could trade up and do something.
Yeah. Excuse me. Kendre Miller's a great pick at the 2-4. Third round capital to the Cowboys. Very, very good pick. I'm probably going to go Zach Evans here. He goes to the Ravens in the 3rd round. I keep saying that the Ravens are I have a very good feeling that they'll bring in a running back to kind of share the workload with J.K. Dobbins. I think Zach Evans, a great spot for him personally. You know, some people might disagree, but I think it's a great spot for him. A team that rushes the ball so much. I'll take him there at the 2-5. Yeah, Tajay didn't get drafted in this mock draft, unfortunately. So I have to adjust. You know, it's unlikely that it doesn't go in the top 5 rounds, but the whole point of these exercises is, you know, hey, let's say these things that we don't think happen, that are going to happen, actually happen. How do we adjust, you know?
Wow, I mean, I can go 2 wide receivers here.
This Atlanta Heat game is getting really interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take Kayshon Boutte. He went in the 3rd. He went to the Packers.
I haven't seen Boutte that high in a while. Where did Hendon Hooker go? Actually, that's what I was going to say. Hendon Hooker.
That actually might be a good pick. I might have not seen that. I think he might.
Yeah,
he went
35th overall pick to the Hookers, to the Colts,
to the Hookers. The Colts didn't draft a quarterback in the 1st, did they? Okay, no. So then, yeah, 100%. I think so. And this is a scenario that we talk about a lot.
They went Will Anderson.
If they do this, I think Hendon Hooker is a 1st round pick in a dynasty. A rookie draft.
I could definitely see Hooker overtaking Downs.
Yeah.
But I still think, obviously, like Levis, even if this is his draft capital, he's going in the 1st, and like you would agree as well.
Yeah, I would definitely
think
agree.
You probably push Downs out of the 1st round.
Somebody's getting pushed down. Whether it can be whoever it is. It's the person that didn't get the draft capital. Hooker will go in the 1st. I think we saw this last time in a different mock, and I will 100% take him in the 1st tier, because that's a starting quarterback that is not really competing with anyone there. I mean, excuse me, who's a quarterback there? Gardner Minshew at the moment, cold depth chart. I mean, I'm happy to do that, and he has a good enough team, and the timeline for Hendon Hooker to come back. I think he's on track to be competing for the starting lineup here, ahead of, you know, Gardner Minshew, Nick Foles, all those guys. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I hear you. Jalen Hyatt at the 3-1. Where did Hyatt end up going?
He went in the 2nd.
Second to the Jags. Oh, yeah, that's tough. What do you do there?
Like, I like Cedric Tillman too, because he went to the Bills. That's who I was going. I was like, okay, he can play that. He can play the Gabe Davis role. I just don't know if he's as fast as Gabe. I think Gabe has a little bit of speed on him, which I don't know Tillman will be able to separate and be that threat.
Tillman's a pretty good route runner, though.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is. And we saw that against was it Keely Ringo? But apparently he's falling too. So
yeah, Keely Ringo's definitely fallen out of love with these teams.
Yeah, I agree. He can definitely be a good pick. It'll be good for Josh Allen getting another big body receiver. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay, lots of options on the board here, but you know Xavier Hutchinson is the option.
X gonna give it to you.
I'll say this. As I've said before, all I want is third round draft capital and a depth chart where he has a chance, where he has a shot. You know, if he goes third round to the Niners, it's game over. If he goes third round to the Dolphins, it's game over. But he has a shot in this depth chart here in Kansas City to play a role. He might end up being what people want Justin Ross to actually be. So I'll take Xavier here at the 3-5. One of my favorite players that no one talks about in this year's draft, and I just hope that the NFL sees kind of some of the things that I saw, and if they don't, then you have to move on. You have to adjust.
All right. Well, I think this is where I'll take my tight end here. I'll take Sam Laporta going to the Lions.
Yeah.
Just makes sense there at the 3-6. A couple other tight ends I could have gotten, but he has the highest draft capital that's left.
Yeah, Marvin Mims didn't make the mock. There's no perfect mock draft, unfortunately. You see things like that happen. Hutchinson looks solid. Great pick, Badake. Mighty Booch. I'm so sorry we didn't answer any of your questions, but should I trade the 101 for Kyler straight up? Superflex was via trade pretty set except for quarterback. Also have the 107. I mean, Mighty Booch, from what we have seen in the community, you shouldn't have to pay the 101 for Kyler anymore. We have people saying he's going in the 3rd, in the 4th, in the 5th. I know it's crazy. Even in the 6th round of Dynasty Superflex startup drafts, So it's my belief that you shouldn't have to pay the 101 for Kyler anymore. Kyler, I feel like right now, consensus, people are putting CJ Stroud and Bryce Young ahead of him. I don't have that, but I think that's at minimum consensus. So, like, I think right now you're looking at like the 104 as being like a starting point for Kyler in trades, and which I think is a steal, but I don't think you'd have to pay the 101.
Yeah, I would agree. And, you know, I think I'm going to get to the point where I do have those rookies over Kyler. I don't know why it's not there yet. And I don't have a good reason, but I think once I understand the team build around him, you know, also depends on how the Cardinals build around Kyler Murray. You know, I think that's also a really big thing. But if CJ Stroud, Bryce Young goes to a team and they build around them, or, you know, Panthers with all these people with Miles Sanders, and they draft another wide receiver in the 2nd, and same thing with the Texans, if they get JSN or Quinton, whatever the case may be. I'm highly considering having those guys over Kyler. So I would say it's close. It's very close. But I wouldn't do Kyler for the 101. I think it is too much for me. I wouldn't do that.
No, I don't think you need to pay that. Yeah. But I do think he's worth the 101. I just don't think that you need to pay the 101 price from what we have seen in a lot. I mean, even someone today said that he went in the 5th round in their Superflex startup. It's crazy talk, but it's happening. And I think, you know, Steven says, what's a fair 1-for-1 for the first overall? I don't think there is a fair 1-for-1. Like,
I would say,
to me, it has to be a package deal. I mean, if you're looking at wide receiver, I would say CeeDee Lamb is the closest value. Like, no one is going to send, if you can, then great. But like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are worth more than the 101 straight up. Yeah. You know? Yeah. But CeeDee Lamb is a trade piece that you could have a conversation around, but it seems that the 101 is worth more than CeeDee Lamb at this time. Yeah, so
I would agree. And
I don't think there is a perfect 101 trade.
There isn't. One thing I was going to say was, like, I think a lot of people are overvaluing the 101. Not a lot of people on YouTube saying, why not trade Bijan for a package and, you know, get a Najee Harris or get a Saquon or get somebody along those lines and get so many more pieces for that, right? Like, for the 101. So yeah, I think you can definitely get a haul right now for the 101 and Bijan. So
I'm not at all opposed to getting a haul. It just needs to be the right players in that haul. Yeah. You know, like Najee, I know it's just a name that you used, but like he wouldn't be one that I would be ecstatic about building a deal around, you know?
Sure. Yeah, I would agree there. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some guys that you can definitely package.
Sure. Like names that I would build a package around. And of course, different names, I would need more capital. But like CeeDee Lamb, your AJ Browns, your Wilsons, Olaves, Waddles, of course, like different, I would need different amount of picks and value in those picks. But also, I would say like Brees Hall, JT, Ken Walker, ETN, CMC if you're competing, Saquon, get Josh Jacobs. But of course, again, like the package needs to look different depending on those different players.
Everyone's different in the package, and
everyone's got a different package.
Everyone's got a little different package, you know. Comes in all. Pause. Let me just stop there.
Someone help.
Let me just stop.
Okay, I'm looking at the third round here, and I'm pretty sure we have a third round running back still available on the board. Let me confirm. We do. Dwayne McBride went to the Jags in the third round. Probably never overtaking Travis Etienne, but it's third round pick, and we're in the fourth round of a rookie draft. So I'll take Dwayne McBride there.
You know, I had a thought. This is like one of those thoughts I was going to sleep, and it's so weird.
Thinking about Dynasty football when you're going to sleep?
Thinking about like players. I was like, okay, what player would actually just be like the perfect combo for not perfect combo. Let me just make my pick. But I kind of thought to myself, okay, we were talking about these oversized. I was talking about these oversized guys, not oversized. I'm talking about the bigger backs, the Roscoe's, the just the bigger backs, the guys that are 215 plus, right? Because there's so many running backs that are in between the 200s to the 110 weight range. And I was like, okay, well, if some of those guys only have like a certain role, who can really stand out in just a 1-2 punch guy? And for some reason, Dwayne came to mind because he doesn't have anything in the air, right?
Sure.
And I know it's not an exciting name, but I was like, well,
you almost think about like what Damian Harris was to Ramondre Stevenson when Damian Harris was healthy.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I was going to. I was like, Dwayne McBride can be like what Damian Harris is right now, what we're expecting for James Cook. What if he goes to that James Cook role? Like he goes to a backfield that already has a pass catching back. And he can definitely be a guy that we can see sneak in because he has carried a workload, right? He has been that guy, and you just know his role, right?
For sure. A lot of unknowns with McBride.
With a lot of unknowns. So that was such a weird thought that I had.
He seems to be a very pure runner.
Yeah, and they like that. They like those pure runner guys. Same thing with like, you know, what if they get
the Michael Wilson pick?
He goes to the Bengals and then they draft Devin A-Chain. Devin A-Chain is a clear pass catching guy, right? Like that is a perfect scenario. So, anyways, just a thought.
I hear.
I was having when I was going to sleep.
Yeah,
thinking about football.
It's funny that. Eric Gray did have a pretty good spot. He went at the 4-3. Went to the Saints, I'm pretty sure, in the fourth round, if I'm not mistaken there. Parker Smith says, in a tight end premium, 1.7 points per reception. Is it crazy to take Pitts at the 203? I don't think so. I don't think it's crazy.
Nah, should be okay. He'd be good with getting Pitts there.
Okay, I think that's probably it for today, guys. This Miami Heat Atlanta Hawks game is heating up. It's in the third quarter, and it's an 8-point game right now. They're going back and forth, giving punches. But just a couple things before we end the stream, just so you guys know what's going on with us. We will be live tomorrow to do a rookie mock draft. We're excited to hang out with you guys then. If you don't know by now, you probably do, but you can find all of our exclusives over on flockfantasy.com. If you use the code LAND, LAND, you will get 30% off your membership. If you want to look at both my rankings and Badake's rankings back to back for, let's say you only want to look at quarterbacks. Let's say you want to look at every position altogether. You just want to look at running backs. You only want to look at rookie running backs, rookie quarterbacks, wide receivers. You can do all that on the site. We got our articles there, as well as articles from some of the best I released an article about Devin A. Chain here recently. I know that's a name that a lot of people, have differences of opinions on. You can also find bonus videos over there if you're part of the One Quarterback Gang. We do one quarterback mock drafts each and every week. We only do 2 rounds for a video, but then we put the 3rd round here as bonus content that you guys can see. And a lot of content from the entire crew over there. So link in the description if you do want to sign up. And if you do sign up, let us know. Message us on Discord. Say, hey, I signed up, and I just want to let you know, and make sure I get all the perks that are available with my membership. If you sign up to the Mother Flocker tier, you get a personal DM to Badake and I.
That's right.
You also get a roster. One of your rosters in Dynasty looked at on a live stream. You get access to being in our Dynasty trade shows, and you unlock the entire Discord. Definitely use our code if you are going to sign up. Show us some love. We only get financially compensated if you use our code, so just keep that in mind. Outside of that, you can follow us on Twitter if you want to. We're always posting things. Some are controversial. Some are on the same page with. I'll put Badaki's handle here as well in case you guys want to drop us a follow. I posted a trade that I made recently about Jerry Jeudy, and you can see some people are happy and they're not happy. Some people are saying they like it. Some people are saying they wouldn't do it. So what can you do? But I'm making moves, and I'm showing you the moves that I make. Outside of that, I think that's pretty much it. I have a video releasing your morning in the USA about 4 players that I keep trying to trade for in Dynasty. I'm sure you'll love it. So that's it for tonight, unless you have anything to say, Badaki, last minute.
Nah, huge love. Appreciate you. And we'll see you tomorrow with a rookie mock draft as well. And another day closer to the NFL draft, which is exciting. So
yeah,
I think people should know we're going to be live right after the NFL draft, right after the first round. So
yep,
keep that free, and we're going to do a rookie mock draft right after the first round and get some insight on some of these guys.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. See you soon. Have a good rest of your day.
Love.
All love.